What happens when hundreds of people from the future time travel to the year 2024? Now what is going to happen in the future that so many people had to come in the past? The story begins in a small town where hundreds of people came in the nearby sea. Many people were dying by drowning, and some people started swimming to the shore. There was also a mother in the crowd who tried to save her daughter from drowning by giving her oxygen. Now a town citizen, Jude, is informed by his colleague that they have suddenly found many bodies on the beach. Both of them rush there and see that many people were lying there, and in the evening many people are brought to the shore. Now Jude was wondering along with his colleague, as neither of them were wearing any life jackets, and what were they doing in the sea? In fact, only 47 of them survived and more than 500 were drowned in the water. By now, after hearing this news, an officer, Emma from Homeland Security, had also arrived. She says that they are not sharing this news in public, yet, as they have to check for themselves first who these people are. They don't have any data for any of them. Now the officer and Jude go to the little girl Leah and ask her where she came from, and no one will believe what the girl tells him. She says that she has time traveled with her mother from 180 years in the future to here in the past because there is a massacre going on there. Not only that, another survivor, Caleb, also says that Leah is telling the truth. The future is going to be very dangerous. Now, as was to be expected, no one believes their words and they start interrogating all 47 survivors one by one, but everyone had the same answer. They start telling them the reality of the future, that Earth will change a lot in the year 2187. In the future, scientists will mutate human genes and turn a few rich people into superhumans, whose body is immune to all types of diseases. And then such humans formed a group called Apex, and they started killing normal humans, so that only such superhumans could live on Earth. So the surviving humans built a time machine that could send humans from the future to the past only twice, and that's why they came to the past in the year 2024 to avoid dying in the future. Now the whole department was shocked, as every single survivor was giving the same statement, and they were not ready to accept any theory like time travel. So they decide that for now the 47 survivors and more than 500 dead bodies they found on the seashore will not even be told to the general public, and they will keep the remaining 47 people locked up for further investigation. They also need to know about the Apex organization mentioned by these people, because according to all of them, this Apex group will start forming from the year 2024, which will become very dangerous in the future. Although Officer Jude was not in favor of hiding all of this from the general public, but he can't do anything. On the other hand, we are shown the woman Reese, who was giving oxygen to her drowning daughter Leah. She did not go ashore with the others, but instead reached on a fishing boat. So now Reese sets out to find her daughter Leah, who got separated from her in the water. There, the survivors in the police camp were quite happy to see the Earth of this time. There is clean air and water. Little Leah was also surprised to see the bunny toys, because in the future, due to pollution, the wild animals had already become extinct. Emma also starts questioning them separately by now, and in the meantime, a survivor gives her some shocking information. He had told that time travel could only be done twice with a time machine in the future, and they are the second group. That is, before them, some group of people from the future has already arrived at this time, but they did not land in the water like them, and no one knows where they are. That is, apart from them, there is another group from the future, which has mixed with the normal people. Even the police do not know who they are. Reese tries to find her daughter Leah by threatening Officer Jude at gunpoint to take her to her daughter now. At first she thought her daughter might have drowned too, so Officer Jude takes her to morgue, where the dead bodies of drowned people were kept. There she doesn't find Leah's body. Reese is happy to see that she will be alive. By now the rest of the guards had also come from behind, but surprisingly, Reese is stronger and escapes by beating them and breaking the window. That is, she is an Apex that the survivors told them about earlier. Emma and Jude were afraid after seeing her CCTV footage that not only normal humans but also genetically modified Apex have come in our time from the future. So they have to catch Reese fast because she's an Apex. This also makes them believe the survivors' words that they are indeed from the future and that whatever they are saying is true. Emma secretly sets up a camp in the middle of the jungle, where 47 people from the future will be isolated from the rest of the world. Here everyone is given separate rooms, and Emma confirms that the camp is surrounded by very tight security, because more Apex like Reese can come out of these people. There Craig, the head of Homeland Security, meets alone with the same survivor who told them that another human group has came to this time from the future before them. And the man is shocked to see that Craig himself came from the future and has become the head of Homeland Security. That is, they have some secret purpose, due to which they are not telling the truth to the rest of the community. So on the other hand, at Jude's house, Reese bursts in again and says that she just has to find her daughter Leah, who is still at the police camp. Reese begins to tell Jude her history, that in 1987 she was also an Apex. They were genetically modified superhumans and were killing normal humans, so that only superhumans like them who had reached the next stage of evolution would live on Earth. Once Reese also entered the camp of normal humans with another of her companion, where normal humans were dying from the diseases they spread. Apex like Reese do not suffer from these diseases because they have already mutated it. But in the camp where Rusk was sent to kill the normal humans, she finds a little girl there. And since she had no children of her own, so she decides to keep that little girl. She cannot kill her, although all this was against the Apex law, so she had to kill the soldier along with her to hide this secret. Reese took the baby home and start raising her. Even though her husband was also an Apex, he also says that they cannot raise normal human by hiding from a higher authority. But by now Reese has fallen in love with the baby and asks her husband to keep it a secret, although her husband had told this truth to the higher authorities. And now Reese is called to a meeting and they told that not only the Apex authority will kill this girl, but they will also put Reese in jail for life, because she has sheltered a normal human's child. So now, to save her daughter's life, Reese kills all the officers there. She left only her husband alive to make him realize his mistake for the rest of his life. She knew that she wouldn't be safe with her daughter right now because the entire Apex group would be after her. So after hiding for a few years, she time-traveled with the remaining normal humans who were going to the past year 2024, although they did not know that the place where they are time-traveling would have an ocean in the year 2024, because in their time year 2187, the water had dried up from there. Therefore, after the time travel, most of the people were killed in the water and only 47 people survived. At the beginning of the story, Reese is the one who gave oxygen to save her daughter, who is now in a government camp where Reese can't go. In the other camp, the police team had started DNA testing of all the survivors. They wanted to know that none of these 47 people would emerge from the Apex, which could be a danger to the people of this time, although it was their good fortune that there is no other Apex among those 47. That means that only Reese is the Apex that they have to catch as soon as possible. On the other hand, Jude had come to believe in Reese that she was indeed an Apex, but she was good at heart and only wanted to find her daughter Leah. She rebelled against the Apex group for her daughter. However, Jude doesn't want to go against the police and locks Reese in a room and calls his boss Emma to tell her everything. That he locks Reese in a room, even though she's not bad at heart, so he asks Emma to meet with Reese alone, after which they will decide what they should do next. But Emma tells her head that Jude has locked up the only Apex in his house, and they go to capture Reese with the soldiers. There, Reese had also heard everything that Jude had told the rest of the force about Reese, so she also started preparing to escape. And now after some time when the soldiers came to catch her, even though Reese was hit by a bullet, she jumped into the water and ran away. Jude was angry with Emma because he asked her to come alone, and he also scolds Emma on the phone that he will never trust her again. He also gives up on the case and decides to spend some days with his son in peace. Anyway, now he is already divorced from his wife. The next day, Jude goes to a local fair with his son, but he doesn't know that the injured Reese is also running away from the rest of the soldiers in the same forest. Reese knew that everyone already knew that she is an Apex and that they would catch her and kill her. On the other hand, the head of the department, Craig, who is from the future himself, hires a doctor who will secretly examine that 47 people and keep everything a secret. She is also offered a lot of money for it. The doctor rushes to the camp and Emma tells her that little Leah is very sick, and the doctor should treat her quickly. In fact, Leah has the same disease that Apex created to kill normal humans in the future, and at this time there is no cure for it. On the other hand, Reese, who is running away from the soldiers in the forest, and because she is an Apex, so she easily escapes by killing all the soldiers. All she wants her daughter Leah at any cost. On the other hand, after spending the whole day wandering around the fair with his son, Jude finds the bodies of dead soldiers, on which was also written a message for him that Reese will also teach a lesson to the Jude that he tried to betray her. Jude notices that his son is now missing from the fair, meaning that Reese took him. Then she calls Jude and threatens to kill his son if he doesn't go to the camp and bring her daughter to her. With no other choice left, Jude rushes to the camp and begs them to hand Leah over to him so that he can free his son in return. But her senior Emma gives her the bad news that Leah is badly infected with that disease, and she will be killed if her life support system will be removed, so they can't send her from here yet. The main doctor also informs him that Leah has a future disease for which no one has an antidote at this time. Now Jude says that the doctor has to go with him and tell Reese about this so that she doesn't hurt his son. Now at first Emma doesn't allow this because she don't wants to risk the doctor's life, because Reese is very dangerous. She is an Apex and has killed many of their soldiers. But now the doctor himself tells Emma that she wants to go to Reese because Reese's blood can give her the formula to cure this disease. However, Apex are immune to this disease. Now both Doctor and Jude reach Reese's address and tell her everything, that Leah's condition is very bad. They cannot remove her from the life support system. Now at first Reese thinks they're lying, so the doctor says that she'll stay with Reese instead of Jude's son, so that she can find an antidote for Lee's disease. Jude is happy that his son is still safe. Reese didn't hurt him, and his son also tells how Reese took good care of him. On the other hand, everyone in the camp was worried. Where are the people who came from the first group from the future at this time? Then that a survivor makes a sketch of his wife Greta and gives it to Emma, who had come in past with the first group. And fortunately, Emma had recognized her as Greta. who has held a high post. So now Emma goes alone to meet her and asks if she is from the future, because one of her survivors has given her a sketch and told that he is her husband. Now after hearing all this, Greta was shocked that her truth is revealed to Emma. Amy also notices that there were several photos of her at home, including her head of Homeland Security, Craig. That means he is also from the future, and the people of the first group from the future are planning something secretly. But before Emma can tell this truth to anyone, Greta comes from behind and shoots Emma, so that no one knows their truth. So on the other hand, Doctor starts taking Reese's blood sample because she is an apex. She is immune to all diseases. Doctor is trying to make an antidote from her blood so that she could save her daughter Leah. They also get a call from the camp that Leah's condition is getting worse and she won't be able to survive for long. So the doctor quickly prepares the medicine and reaches the camp in a hurry, and at the last moment after giving the medicine to Leah, Doctor finally saved her life. Although now she has the blood of the Reese, which will allow her to do more experiments. Doctor meets Reese and tells her that her daughter is safe now and soon the camp people will be taken out. From there Reese can leave with her daughter Leah. Now the Reese starts preparing for it. She had paid a lot of money to make fake documents for her and Leah so that she could run away with Leah and start a new life. So there the doctor herself had cancer and she was dying slowly. That's why she comes up with an idea, why not she make a new medicine from the Reese's apex blood and save her own life. On the other hand, Jude finds out that his head Emma has gone missing and no one knows where she is. She was not even at her home. And Jude and the rest of the officers begin to see that Emma was looking for the survivor's wife, who also has some connection to their boss Craig. On the other hand, Greta had told Craig that her husband Paul had also arrived at the same time, who is telling everyone that Greta is from future. By now, Jude and the other officers have grown suspicious of their boss Craig, and have arrested their own department head. But Craig's connections were very high and the mayor of the city herself got him released. That is, she is also from the future. Now the next day the department decided to take the 47 people from Way Camp to the outside world as they were now confident that there was no danger from them. Still, they install a tracking device in all of them so that no survivors try to escape, while Reese was already looking for this opportunity so that she could run away with her daughter. Now, according to the plan, the survivors are taken on a tour of a small town nearby to see the local society and learn to blend in. Everyone was quite happy with how clean the air is now. Otherwise in the future there will be neither water nor clean environment, and crops have stopped growing in their future time. Therefore, the apex category people chose to kill them so that the remaining resources only they can use. On the other hand, Jude himself also wanted to give Reese's daughter to her. So he pretends to be a guide and leads little Leah through the bathroom to Reese. He had also taken out that tracking device from Leah so that the police could not trace them. From here both Reese and Jude bid each other a final goodbye and go their separate ways. However, it does not happen as they thought. While Reese is at a hotel with Leah, she notices that the police have already planted another tracking device in Leah's toy. Reese rushes out with Leah as the soldiers can reach them at any time. And even so, the soldiers finally capture Leah and Reese. And here it is revealed that this was all planned by Craig, who sent Leah to capture the only apex in the area. They pick them up and take them to the lab, where the doctor and Greta, who were from future, give the idea to kill her because the apex generation was started at this time. By now, they had even summoned Camp Doctor here to learn the secret of this apex evolution before killing Reese. That what thing makes them stronger than normal people. Outside, the doctor has other plans and, hiding from Craig, she starts taking more of Reese's blood samples with her, so she can make an antidote for her cancer. By now the general public had started to find out that the police has 47 people who came from the future, so they start protesting that everything should be revealed to them or they will attack the camp. Due to this, the problems of the police have increased because already their senior officer Emma has been missing for several days. What they didn't know that she had already been killed by Greta so that her and Craig's secret wouldn't be revealed. And now the police finally finds Emma's body near the camp, and all the evidence shows that she was killed by someone from the group of 47 people. Although Jude suspected that there was something wrong with her, while alone, Greta meets her husband Paul, who is quite happy to see her. Greta traveled back in time to 2024 with the previous group before Paul. And now she starts recording a video from Paul, saying that he didn't time travel from the future. Now Paul is quite happy to see his wife after a long time, and he does so without knowing the reason. In fact, Greta did all this at Craig's behest, who wanted the public to think that the police is lying to them, saying that some people were from the future. They will also kill the remaining 47 people from the other group so that this secret will be buried. So there will no further obstacle in their plan. They deliberately go into the camp and tell them that they are slowly freeing them one by one, so that they can kill them one by one as soon as they get out. Now Greta also takes her husband Paul home alone and shows him their son, who is quite happy at this time. Then Paul discovers that his drink has been poisoned and he is killed. Greta did all this at Craig's order. There, on the other hand, the camp doctor had made an antidote from Reese's blood, and she was perfecting it for herself so that it would not have any side effects on her body. There she also tells Jude that Craig has captured Reese in his lab and they are going to kill her soon. Together, they rush to the lab to find Reese, where the race was being tortured for so many days so that the scientists could learn what is the weakness of apex generation. But Reese breaks free and kills all the scientists. She also destroyed all of her blood samples so that no one could get apex formula. They already knew from history that apex formula will start at the same time from the year 2024. Reese didn't notice though that the doctor had already hidden some samples, and now she injects herself with samples that instantly cured her cancer. The other hand, Craig thinks that they could not kill the people in the camp while the police is there, so he decides to attack this camp at night, although Jude already knew this with the help of the Reese. And he sent a message to the survivors of the camp that they had to leave the camp as soon as possible, otherwise Craig would kill them all. Now all the survivors start to trap the guards to get out of here, while outside, Jude cuts the camp security wires and eventually takes all of the camp survivors out with him. Then he goes in to explain to Craig that he shouldn't kill the survivors. Now Craig says that in the future the people of the Apex started killing normal humans. That's why when they came at this time with the first human group, they formed the secret group, so that they can gradually settle on a higher positions and this time by changing the future and they will never let the Apex group be formed. Now Jude assures him that they too will not allow the Apex group to form and Craig will not kill the 47 survivors in return. Although the video of Paul went viral online in which he was saying that these 47 survivors are not from the future, therefore, no one will doubt them. Craig was ready for the deal because he didn't just want to let Apex group to be formed. And these survivors are normal people anyway, except for Reese, whose responsibility Jude himself is taking, that he will always keep an eye on Reese. Jude returns to the survivors and gives them their fake IDs so they can live like a normal person in this time. He was happy that he helped the survivors, and since they already know the future, this time they will take care of global warming and Apex group so that the future of Earth can be safe. From here, 47 survivors start living in different countries. They hid from everyone that they were from the future, otherwise they would never live a normal life. Then Jude marries Reese because he is already divorced, and now Jude and Reese will take good care of Leah and his son. They think that everything is fine now. Now it is revealed that the doctor had injected Reese's blood into her and now she has changed physically and she has become quite strong. And she leaves with the same blood sample to make more people like her. That is, the Apex group was started by none other than the doctor from the year 2024. Where Jude and Reese thought they had changed the future but the timeline was still the same. Everything that happened until now was part of a loop. Again in the future Doctor will make an Apex corporation and then they will start killing normal humans. Everything will be the same as before, that is, nobody has changed anything. And with this thrilling ending, this entire series ends here. If you like this video, please subscribe this channel.